Hi there everyone, we're back in the UK, back from a very warm and sunny Lanzarote to a very wet and windy England, but I suppose we can't complain given the time of year. Lanzarote was really good for us, we enjoyed it, it was nice and relaxing, and of course the weather was pretty good. We did see a bit of that sandstorm that comes over from Africa, from the Sahara. You may have seen that on the news, but it wasn't as bad as it got more recently, so we were able to fly out okay. But you could see this yellow haze out across the sea towards to Fuerteventura, which was not, the locals say it's not unusual. It happens on and off and then it blows through, but on this occasion, of course, more recently it's been pretty bad. So we are now back in the UK, as I said, not travelled yet, partly, well, mostly because of the bad weather, but we did take the chance then to sort the van out. So it's got to that age where it needs an MOT. It had a major service and a few things replaced, and also we did the all-important habitation check, which we always do every year to make sure everything's working before we get travelling. We are starting to think about UK travels, starting to put some plans together for that, and I also have been back on the video. So this particular video is a second one around Lanzarote. The first one was really about the landscape, the volcanoes, the dramatic coastline, which was really good to see. This one is more about living on the island, so we got to visit some nice little quaint and pretty unspoilt fishing villages. We got to visit Arrecife, which is the capital. Went round a very interesting art gallery because it's all contemporary art, so very different. And then we visited the Cesar Manrique volcano house, which is a unique building because it's actually built into the lava, so you won't see anything like that anywhere. And they've got a brilliant exhibition at the moment because it's a 100 years anniversary from when he was born. So it made it very interesting to see what his lifestyle was all about. So that's what the video's got for you. Hopefully you enjoy that. And then next time we see you, hopefully we'll be somewhere travelling around the UK. So in between times, hope to see you again soon, and enjoy the video. Bye for now. Bye.
I think we've said before actually, Lanzarote is what we call a Marmite island. You either love it or you hate it. It has got its fair share of tourist developments, Costa Teguise, Porto del Carmen and Playa Blanca of course. But because of the restrictions on building, mainly I think due to a guy called Cesar Manrique, who we'll talk about in a minute, even these built up areas retain some of the, how you would imagine the original fishing villages to look, because they're all low built buildings, so that they haven't got that sort of high-rise impact as you're driving round, which really we rather like about Lanzarote. And we also like the fact that there are some tiny little fishing villages totally unspoilt by these developments, and they are very basic, and you can imagine how it would have been living there 100 or so years ago. El Golfo is quite popular because it does have this wonderful lime green lake that tourists come to see. But if you walk into the village itself, it has some wonderful fish restaurants and these quaint old fishing houses. And it is lovely to walk around, but probably the most pleasant we've found and the most serene and calm, and actually a lovely place just to sit, is Playa Queimada, if I'm pronouncing it right. We only discovered that this year, and it is a very tiny fishing village, very as it was in all its originality, not overdeveloped or anything. You go down a dirt track at the end and park, but it is absolutely lovely, and it has its own relaxed, laid back sort of atmosphere to it.
Another place we enjoyed visiting was Teguise. It's the former capital of Lanzarote. It has a bustling Sunday market. For the rest of the week it can be quite quiet, but it's a very traditional Lanzarote town. It has some very quirky shops, and some very interesting statues dotted around the streets.
The capital city is Arrecife. As far as cities go for Britain, it's quite small. We went to the top of the only multi-storey building built on the island. It's a hotel in Arrecife. And on the 17th floor, the most amazing cafe. And you have beautiful views over towards Fuerteventura. And all round the northern bit of the island and over the city of Arrecife itself. We had to go and visit his volcano house in Teguise. He built two houses to live in, the one in Teguise, which is in the lava field, and another one in Hygge when he was a bit older. Cesar Manrique is the most famous of Lanzarote residents. He was born in the 20s, went to Madrid to study at the art school, moved briefly over to New York where he had various exhibitions, but then returned in 1966 to Lanzarote and his home, and he built the volcano house. Absolutely amazing. He had his own artist studio, and he sort of kept to the Lanzarote traditions, but with a modern sort of twist, if you like. There is a foundation now, apparently a non-profit organisation, so you can go and look at his homes and his artwork, and it is really interesting. And they've had a lovely exhibition on this year because it's a 100-year celebration since he was born, of all photographs and things that have been found of his life. And you can see, looking at them, he did live life to the full, and he believed in you only had one life, you should live it. And that's quite obvious when you walk around. What he also managed to do cleverly is, within the volcanic bubbles created by air pockets in the lava, he made rooms and also a wonderful swimming pool area. does well allow you to be hedonistic. Not in the right place, is it? That's strange, isn't We're staying just south of the harbour of Rubicon in a lovely little villa. We've quite enjoyed it here. It's quite modern. We've got lovely views behind us of the mountains at the back where you go up through Femes and down the valley there if you want to take a shortcut through onto the what they call a motorway. It's their main road north to south on the island. We like it in this area because it's quite quiet, but you can walk over to the Papagayo Peninsula and the beaches if you want to. You can walk down to the seafront in 10-15 minutes and walk along the seafront right the way to Playa Blanca. There's some great cafes in the harbour because we do like a decent cup of coffee, and there is one on the harbour front. It's run by an English lady and a French guy, and they do the most amazing cakes. More now, I don't think I've got any more because Gaz has eaten it all.